we go.
So
yeah, when Wiggles was talking about it, he said it was called. He said it was boogie. It was more funky, more faster. You know, and he called it electric boogie on the East Coast right now.
Yeah, it was called electric boogie. Yeah.
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 So
because we had a different tempo.
Right.
You know, because Loose Bruce, from what I hear, is he's from the West Coast too.
Is he?
That's what I heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
He passed away. I was sad about that.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That was really sad because he was just coming back into the game and starting to see if he can, you know, revive the electric boogie style here on the East Coast. But from what I'm hearing is that he was originally from the West Coast, and I guess he came down here and got with the music that we were doing.
Okay.
And so whatever he brought from the West Coast, whatever style, whatever that came from, he just added it to the music that we were playing.
Okay.
So it became faster, and he was just rocking to that.
Okay. That makes sense. I never knew that.
So it just changed. You know, the only thing that changed was the music, and it made it look really cool.
Was he considered like one of the best in New York? Fable said he was.
Yes, Loose Bruce was a tough cat. The top dogs that I could say were the top people were, I would say, Shake, Loose Bruce, E.T. I'm going to say Magic.
Okay.
People may not want to say it, but if Shake says Magic, and a few other people say Magic, yes. Actually, Mr. Freeze came down personally from Ashula Parkway all the way up to this part of the Bronx, where he lived at, to battle him. And that was because Mr. Freeze learned we call it the worm, but it's really the kick wave, right?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But nobody's ever seen it. So Freeze brought it from California, and he had a weapon. So he was like, okay, I'm going to battle Magic Mike. And that's exactly what he did, was he did that to bring it over the top. But if he didn't do that worm, which was new, he would have got smoked.
Okay.
And he knew that. That's why he was like, oh, now I'm ready to battle Magic because I have this this new move. But he knew that if he didn't have that new move, he wasn't going to be able to stand with Magic. Right. But so I would say Magic, and then everybody else to your down, and Scooter. Papa Lock Corey was good too.
Okay.
Papa Lock Corey was good too. Actually, Mr. Wave got his style, a lot of his style, from Papa Lock Corey. That whole shake, that tremor thing and walking with it and all that stuff, that was Papa Lock Corey.
Okay.
Going like this here, doing a heartbeat, a circle, opening his arms. Dropping. I think Papa Lock Corey used to drop down, but not much. But he dropped down a little bit and do this, but he did it tick style. So a lot of that, he got a lot of influence from Papa Lock Corey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during that time, popping was just as big as breaking in the 80s, like 81.
Yeah, but we just were clueless. It was.
But
big.
I'm just saying, like, was the energy? Was it like really like strong?
Yeah, it was big, man.
It was big out here.
Yeah, because it was. It was magical. It was like we were floating on air. We were electric. We were moving in slow motion. We were throwing waves through our body. It was magical.
I love popping.
Yeah.
The minute that I seen it,
yeah,
I fell in love with it.
Yeah. Breaking was amazing. Of course it was, but popping was too. But again, our world, we weren't doing it right.
Okay.
Now these days we know what it is. You know what you have to do with this. It's a whole other ball game.
Yeah.
There's the West Coast is involved. The whole world is in on the action now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to be the best now, it's not easy.
Oh man.
Because now you're the best in the world. The whole world is the neighborhood now.
Yeah.
You know.
I think once Japan got involved with it, it's nuts.
But let me tell you something, man. And I like Japanese people. Konnichiwa. No, I do. I like Japanese people. There's a locking crew. They're called, I forgot the name of them, man. They're really soulful black dudes. They are fucking dope. They're from this side of town, too. They're from this side of town. They're not even from the West Coast. But one of them went viral video. But let me tell you something. They're teaching Japanese all over again.
Yeah.
They're teaching. I'm noticing it. I'm noticing it because now I'm seeing people locking, and they're changing it up and they're looking a little bit more like they're doing stuff that these brothers are doing. So they're still learning. Because remember, the locking is a black dance. You know, hip hop. You know, this is a black culture. You know what I mean? And you know, you just gotta. Don't forget that who the creators are. Don't forget who the creators are. Don't think because you got a couple of good technical moves that you're the shit. Because they can bring you back to reality and show you that there's more to it.
That's what I do.
And that's what this group is doing. I forgot the hell the name of them, man.
Yeah.
These dudes are fuck. They do a little bit of James Brown. They slide. They mixing their locking with their locking with other dances with soulful moves. You know what I mean? And now I'm starting to see these Japanese lockers who are very technical trying to do those moves that these guys are doing. They're getting in. You can see they are influencing them, and they're like, "Oh, we still have lots to learn."
Yeah.
We still have lots to learn from the brothers. You know what I mean? And they're watching.
Right.
You know, because they worship. They worship black culture. So they're watching and then they learn a little bit of that and they try to use that against the very same people. And I've seen this crew in battles against Japanese people. And Japanese people were trying to do what they influenced.
Yeah.
The new influence, the new stuff in locking, the new against them.
Yeah. I got a situation I can share with you, Klown, since we're on that topic.
Yeah.
I was at an after party.
Yeah.
And I was doing my thing, you know, like top rocking. That's like my specialty, up rocking. And this dude from Japan like steps in front of me. And he's going off like, everybody's hyping him up. Like,
right.
He's kind of like the token Japanese dude.
Yeah.
So he started going crazy. And I guess he threw in a couple of more punches like on me. And like he lost it. Everybody's like, yeah. Right? So he walks away. So when he's walking away, I'll follow him. And I tapped him on the back of his shoulder. I said, no, let's come back. I said, it's not over.
Yeah.
He was like, what? He got shocked. I said, it's not over. I brought him back to the circle. I put the work on him though, bro. And after that, he shook my hand because he knew, like, don't let your friends, like how you said, like, I love all the dancers, Puerto Ricans, Asian.
Yeah.
But this is a black dance.
It is.
I'm from that culture.
Yeah.
So you can't school me on literally something that I am.
Dude, like I said.
And I had to let him know because he came from Japan and he thought that he can just like run me over because he was the underdog. And all his Japanese friends were like screaming for him, you know? Yeah. But it's when you're battling one-on-one, if I want some more, like we're running it again.
Show me some respect.
Yeah, this is not a
contest. It was
contest.
my people that gave you this
right.
that shared this culture and this art.
Right. This is
you.
Right. This is not a contest. This is personal.
Let's go.
Yeah, this
Don't
is
walk
personal.
away from me like you got this until I say come up, shake your hand and say, okay, you got. Show me some respect. I've always had respect. Like I said, I came up. I learned the moonwalk backslide from a family friend, and then that was it. From there on, everybody that I learned from, besides everybody that I was inspired by and learned from, because I figured it out on my own and being around, was all black. The only, like I said, the only instructor that actually said, hey, do this way, do that way, was Magic Mike.
Okay.
He was Dominican. That was the only instructor that I had that actually told me how to do things. But everybody else, every person that I came up with, everybody that I was inspired with, was all black. Everybody. Even when I started hitting, and everybody, the New York City Flow Committee, the Breeze team, all those hitting crews that were out there back then, all black. I was the only Spanish guy, maybe one or two other people, Latinos, but I was the one that stayed there the whole time.
Okay.
The whole time, always there. Matter of fact, we lived together for a while. You know what I mean? I tell people that all the time. So listen, if you're going to be doing, I don't give a shit if you like it or not. If you're going to be doing a dance that's created by a certain people, you need to do everything that they do. So if you have never tried chitlins at least once, If you had never had collard greens, macaroni and cheese, oxtail, smothered turkey neck, peach cobbler, if you never ate like that,
banana pudding,
yeah,
with the vanilla wafers,
velvet cake, you know, if you never had
7-Up cake,
yeah, if you never had that, and just at least tried it, then you're not doing something wrong because you're not really in there.
Gumbo.
Yeah. That's the that's Mississippi now. Now
Creole.
we talk Creole. We talk
black
Creole
people.
now.
It's still black
Yeah,
folks.
it's still black folk, but we talk Creole. Yeah, but yeah, I had gumbo plenty of times.
Yeah.
Shit. Gumbo and jambalaya.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're gonna do something that's within, and Eric Clapton, I'm gonna bring Eric Clapton up for an example. And I got two stories that match that. I'm gonna tell you about that story, then another one. Eric Clapton. Phenomenal blues player. Why is he a phenomenal blues player? Because he embedded himself in the culture. Before he became famous, he did everything. He drank, he partied, he hung out with black folks, he got his ass kicked and robbed by the same people that was teaching him. This is what he said in the documentary. This is the real thing. He said, I got fucked up, all types of things happened to me. But I wanted this blues. I wanted the real deal. I wanted to feel the pain. I wanted it. And I still, to this day, forgive what was done to me and pay homage to those people that did this thing to me because they were the greatest artists that I've ever been around and I learned from. You know what I mean? So if you're going to learn something from a culture, you got to get in there. You gotta try the food. You gotta try the lifestyle. You gotta know it all.
The women.
Yeah, you gotta get in there, and that's not what that's not what everybody does.
No.
So they really don't understand the culture like you really.
They're looking at it from a screen point of view.
Yeah.
Chuck D said it like, I heard this term yesterday. He said a lot of the people that are learning hip hop today are called screenagers. They're learning hip-hop through a screen. Screenagers.
Yes.
That makes sense, though, because now everybody that look at and try to learn dance, they're looking at their phone.
Yeah.
They're learning everything through the screen. I learned everything through the streets.
Through the streets and through the lifestyle.
I didn't learn it through the screen.
Not just the street, the lifestyle.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Because to poppin', like how you said, though, it's more than just poppin'. It's our slang.
Yeah.
It's the way that the
swag.
Let me tell you this. I go to the 50-year OG. I'm going to the Poppers Picnic. We got two of them. One in San Diego, one in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm there and I'm seeing like triple OGs though before me.
Yeah.
Brothers got the creases. Like you can.
Oh, these guys are serious. They're serious.
You can stand their pants up. They got the hush puppies. They got the brim hats. They got the cane. They got the crocus sacks. I'm like, oh my god.
They're serious.
Brothers are still really serious about popping, like on the West Coast. Let me tell you.
Very, very, very serious.
When I say serious, like serious.
Some of them don't even like me. I went out there before. They give me the look. I was like, holy shit. I come in peace.
Yeah.
I'm here, man. I'm trying to learn. I want to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really serious. You know? It's kind of deadly. They take it serious.
Yeah.
Because it comes. A lot of those OG brothers come from the hood, Compton, South Central.
Right. Yeah.
Back in those days, so their mindset is still like South Central in the late 70s. They haven't really learned that, okay, now you can kind of be cool. Like, the Asian dude, they're just like, nah, cuz, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they have that street, sometimes I get intimidated. Yeah. Because their mindset is just so like stuck in that time. They forgot how to be just like friendly and be human. You can smile. You don't have to have glasses on all the time.
I do have to say though that if you have some skill and you go ahead and you in the West Coast and you go ahead and you most of them, I'm not gonna say all of them, but most of them, if you're gonna battle and you're gonna go down there and somebody's gonna step to you and you're just gonna be like, let's go. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. And you do your thing and you got some skills. After that battle, all that animosity leaves and they're like, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to B-Boy Summit, it was years ago, and we got stepped to. But we just went at it. But after that battle was over and we went to go eat and everybody hung out, everybody was like, yo, you're dope, blah, blah, blah. We were, You know what I mean? We were talking, we were chilling. Some of them still got a little something.
Yeah.
You know, because they just love that this is their art form. It comes from the West Coast. And they want to be respected, and it's their thing, and they're proud of it. You know what I mean? And I understand that. And they have that battle mentality. But I'm in. Like, if I had the opportunity to go down to the West Coast and learn how to pop, back then I'd probably have been down there just as much as I'd have been in the neighborhood if I had that.
Right.
I'd have been down there learning that too. You know what I mean? Because I seen, like, when I first saw a flat top, we went down there to Santa Monica to do street shows. And I saw a flat top. I said, what the hell is this? And I saw animation. And I was like, wow, these motherfuckers are amazing. And then when my first encounter of a West Coast battle was in New York City. When I saw my first experience of a West Coast popping battle. And this was serious. Like, for us, because we chilling. We're chilling. We're doing street shows on 50th Street, waiting for the Cats Theater to come out. We're sitting out over there because the theater gonna come out, come across the street. We're gonna do shows on the big sidewalk. There's a big sidewalk there. So this kid named Tron, he got a C carved in his chest. I don't know if you know him, but his name is Tron, from California. So he's hitting with us. So we're sitting there waiting for Cats to come out. We're playing our music, waiting for the theater to come out. All of a sudden, Fable walks up and Skeeter Rabbit walks up. And then Skeeter Rabbit goes, you don't get, nigga, that bitch ass nigga Tron, yeah, that nigga wanted to battle me. So now Tron is with us. You know, we got the Breeze team there, and the Breeze team, you can step to the flow committee, but you can't step to the Breeze team. You're gonna have a fight on your hand, that's for sure. So motherfuckers immediately get up like, yo, who the fuck? Fable had to go over there, but no, it's just a popping battle. It's all good. They have beef from the West Coast beef, and they're gonna battle. Oh, okay. It's all about dancing. All right, cool. Because Breeze, they were ready.
Right.
And Skeeter Rabbit and Tron, these dudes, this battle looked like it was inches away from them ready to kill each other.
That's how it was.
And we were like...
It's still like that.
And we were amazed. Like, we were like, never seen a battle like that before. We just battled. We were kind of a little bit smiley or whatever. These dudes were like, in each other's faces, like, oh, shit. And we were like, yo, Fave, what's going on? You know, Fave was like, nah, they're not going to fight. This is how they do it in the West Coast. I was like, oh, shit. And that was my first experience. I said, damn, these dudes in the West Coast take this shit serious.
It's still serious.
Like, serious. I was bugging.
Still serious.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too graphic, though, but sometimes, like, brothers, they still carry the burner on them.
Yeah.
And if they get hot,
yeah,
they will go to the car and, like, you better make a move. Like I said. Okay. Thank you sharing that with me, though, Klown. I want to ask you about skill methods. I'm cool with technique, Venom, Flea, Josh. Who else is in skill methods?
Luigi.
Oh, Luigi. All those guys. So from my understanding, like, what is your history to skill methods?
I'm going to start with the very, very, very first skill methods.
Okay.
We're going to go with Flips, Venom, and
Cloud,
and there were two separate crews originally. Cloud was with a crew called TCT, which his brothers were in, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
The City's Tops.
Okay.
And then Flips and Venom were I don't know if they were in a crew, but they were together. They were like, they were boys doing their thing. Technique was in the area. He was his own thing. And I had came down to Florida. It was 95. Mom was sick, so I had to take care of her. So I said, well, you know, I got to make this my home. You know, I got to hit, because that's all I was doing for a living. So I'm going to go down to Ybor City and hit. They closed down the street. We'll go down there and we're going to hit. And I brought a few hitters down with me. Muggsy and we had Tick and Tack. We would hit. And then every now and then Venom and Flips would pop up and hit with us. Right? And then I met the city's tops because they came to Ybor City. That's where the street was closed to do shows in. They came down for a battle in a club in Ybor City. And Cloud was a kid and went into that battle in that club because they don't allow kids in it. And they won.
Mm.
And so that's how I met Cloud and his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So the first, because these guys were coming down just for the winter. Muggsy, Tic and Tac. When it was winter in New York, they'd come down for a couple months. And then when it got warm, they went back up. But I needed a crew. I'm living down here.
Mm.
Right? So first thing I went for was the city's tops. I was trying to recruit them to make my hitting crew.
Okay.
That I could go hit year round. So I found out where they lived, went to the house. It's like, yo, let's, they had the kid, Cloud is the kid, right? And then they get the two brothers, right? So that's a money crew. That's a money crew because they're brothers. You can't break them up, right? And Cloud is a kid. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And Crowd is good-looking little cute kid dancing. We're gonna get money. This is money right here, right here. I see money. We're gonna get big ass. In my experience, we're gonna make some big circles. We're gonna have the two brothers. They're gonna go crazy. They're gonna dance, do all the big moves. Cloud is gonna go out. The crowd's gonna go crazy for the cute kid. I'm gonna go out there with my experience and my funny moves, make them laugh a little bit. We're gonna make some money.
Mm.
We did that for a little bit, and then the two brothers went their way. Cloud went his way. I think Venom and Flips, they were coming down every once in a while after a while and hitting, but not much. Technique ran into us one winter. Technique, God, money. No, I like your Technique. He was okay. He had a Technique in Skill Methods was the one with the heart.
Okay.
He would try any move. He used to get up bleeding because we didn't have linoleum.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We just set up on the concrete on the road.
Mm-hmm.
He hurt himself just trying moves because he wasn't really stable as a breaker. He was just willing to go for it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, but he was there all the time. He was there all the time. So he came in that way. Eventually I got a center. A place where we could practice, put together routines. I wanted to put together some routines for the street shows. And I would invite them over.
Mm-hmm.
See who wants to come to the practice and put together some routines so we could have a nice little strong show because Tic and Tac had their thing. They had I wanted something different. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that turned into a spot where we could work on to a spot where every b-boy in the Tampa Bay area started coming to practice. You understand what I'm saying? So it became like a little practice spot, but then everybody started hearing about it and everybody just started coming to practice there. And the guy that run the center was like, yo, how you getting all these people in here? He liked that because he was running a youth program with teens and all that. So he was like, yo, you're getting all these people in here. You can get this anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm bringing heads into the center. So I was like, oh, for real? So now, this is getting a little popular. People are coming. Even the Canadian Floor Masters came down into the studio from Canada. The word was getting around. So, Skill Methods, it wasn't Skill Methods yet. TCT, Three Brothers Grimms, all these breakers were coming.